What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, for a brand new review of Keke Wyatts World, you guys. This is season 1, episode number 3, and it's titled "It's My Show," and I'll cry if I want to, you guys. So before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss Keke Wyatts World on WeTV, shall we? All right, you guys, so I'm gonna do this video just like I did last week's video, because I actually like that, how I did it last week, where I didn't go scene by scene, because Keke's show isn't really a scene by scene kind of show. It's for me personally, right? Because what I will say is I do feel so bad for Keke's little baby, Keziah. Because you guys remember last week's episode, it ended with Keziah being taken to the hospital. So he had a seizure, and so they found out that the baby now has 4 different types of seizures, and he's also been diagnosed with epilepsy. I was like, oh my God, that poor baby. But like I've been saying, when it comes to little Keziah, we are only going to do nothing but lift him up in prayer and pray that God keeps him and that family safe and, you know, and happy, right? That's all I want for that baby, is just to have a happy, healthy, fruitful life, right? So now you guys know I said it last week and I'm gonna say it one more time. Where the hell does Kiva's girlfriend, I mean, I know she lives with them. The problem that I have with Kiva's girlfriend is that she is so vocal. I just don't like that. I'm sorry, it bothers me how vocal that girl is. I get that you are dating Kiva, but you're not married into that family, so it's just like, why are you so vocal, little mama? And you know, it's no slight, no shade, but it's just, little mama is very vocal. That's all I gotta say, is little mama is a little vocal. A little too vocal for me. So in this episode, you guys, it was mostly dealing with Keke and Andre. And what I will say about Keke and Andre, they have an interesting dynamic with each other, right? It's very much so a brother and sister relationship. You know, and you know, when it comes to brothers and sisters, y'all, they argue and they fight, right? My best friend and I, we are like brothers. It ain't no like, that is my sister at the end of the day. That is my sister. I look at her like my sister. I treat her like my sister. That is my sister. Although we have different parents, that is still my sister at the end of the day. And we've had a one falling out in our friendship. And actually we've had 2, scratch that, we've had 2. And we've made up with each other, right? But I've never treated my best friend the way that Keke treats Andre. And she's never treated me the way, my best friend has never treated me the way she treats, you know, that Andre treats, you know, Keke treats Andre, right? So we've never done that, because our relationship is, you know, like I said, we may have our moments where we don't talk to each other. We may have our moments where we've had, like I said, we've fallen out when we were in our early 20s. We had some falling outs in our early 20s, but our late 20s and on, you know, our late 20s and stuff, we didn't have those issues, right? So we see Keke's mama, and she met up with Andre, and you know, I like the fact that her mom has a relationship with Andre, and she sat down with Andre and tried to talk to Andre about what's going on with Keke. But here's the thing when it comes to Keke. I get that Keke has a lot on her plate with Keziah, and I get that she has a lot with all the kids that she has, right? But that doesn't give her the justification to talk to Andre the way that she talks to him. She tells Andre, fuck you. That is hard. Like, to tell somebody, like, that's one thing I try not to say to people, is fuck you. I really try my hardest not to say that word, because I do realize when you say it, it is very, very, very harsh, right? So I try my hardest not to tell people fuck you. I do it, right? I definitely do try to stay away from that word, but sometimes it comes out right, like, oh, but like I said, I fight within myself not to say that word to people. But Keke, it just flies out of her mouth. So I don't know if her mom was necessarily trying to make excuses for Keke, but that's how it kind of felt like. It felt like to me. And so Andre suggested that Keke get, you know, he wants to bring in a therapist. I think that would be a good idea for Keke because, like Keke said, she's dealing with depression, postpartum depression, and then she has these other kids that she has to take care of, and then she has a sick child that she's taking care of. So Keke has the stress of the world on her. So I think that it would be beneficial for Keke to have somebody to talk to. But that's my personal opinions. If you guys are watching the show, please let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like I said last week, the show is really good. I really do enjoy Keke's show. What I also will say about Keke is selfish as fuck. We'll talk about it in a little bit. So next up, you guys, I'll talk about Kissy. So this episode dealt with Kissy, Keke, and Andre, right? Now you guys remember, and if you guys watched last week's episode or the review, so Kissy had this manager by the name of Johnny. Now Kissy, what I will say is, why the hell are you working with Johnny? I'm in agreement with Keke. If you had an issue with money with this man and you couldn't trust him, why would you then go back to work with someone that you can't trust? That is the definition of insanity in itself. Like, you're expecting something different when he's only showing you one thing. Why would you go back and get in business with him? I don't understand it. And also, what I will say, like, I didn't like Kissy's song that she sang last week when her and Keke did that concert, that little concert, right? This song that she sang in the studio, it was so much better. I don't know what it was, but the song, I like the song better, right? Guess who's in the studio with her? Johnny. And so they're talking about her video shoot, and then she's gonna do a performance, and he was talking about the money. So she's like, so I'm paying for it and not you, right? Yeah, Kissy, if you have to do this kind of stuff to make sure that everything is being done the correct way, then maybe you shouldn't do business with this man. That's my personal opinion. I'm sorry. There's just no way in hell. If you do me wrong once, there's no coming back from that. That's just me personally. I can't come back from that. Not ever. Never, ever, ever. Never, 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 never. But she is, and I just didn't understand it. I thought it was very odd. So then we see Keke and Andre. So they went down to the video shoot that, Kissy is having. So this is where the bulk of the shit happened in this episode. So when Keke got to the video shoot, she saw that Johnny was there, right? So she's like, I don't want him on. And in this episode, Keke completely broke the damn fourth wall. I mean, when I tell y'all Keke broke the fourth wall, she broke the fourth wall. She was like, I don't want him on the show. And I was like, okay, I mean, I guess, right? I mean, I guess I didn't feel anything about that. So after that, then here's the thing. No shade to Kissy, because I think the song it sounded good, right? But here's the question that I have for Kissy. Girl, what was the budget? That ain't no shade. What was the budget? Because it looks like y'all are in somebody's office space. Again, no shade to you, but I just wonder what the budget was. Did y'all have a budget? Like, is this just one scene of the video? I need to know. I have a lot of questions when it comes to this because who set this up? Was it Kissy that set this up, or was it Johnny that set this up? Because it's given, I don't know what. It's not really given anything, to be quite honest with you guys. So yeah, they finished the video shooting. They went outside and they started talking, right? I want to pause here and then we're going to move forward, and this is where we're going to wrap up the episode. So remember, Keke has an issue with the fact that Kissy is working with Johnny, right? So Kissy then told Keke and Andre that someone came to her, and is Divine Stevens, right? Divine came to Kissy, wants to sign and work with Kissy, right? Keke had a whole ass fit about that. She says no. She says, because when I was 10 years old, he told me I was fat because I had big boobs and a big butt, but it was little. I was like, okay, Keke, I understand. I get where you're coming from. You're holding on to that because that can cause body dysmorphia. That can cause body images within a young girl. So I absolutely get where she's coming from. And so for Andre to tell her that she needs to get over that, I didn't agree with that. I don't think that was the correct thing to say, to get over it. I think what Andre could have said in a better way is, yes, you were 10 years old and he should not have said that to you, Keke, but you got to find the way to not let that live within you, because you're holding on to something that he did to you. That man has moved on with his life. That man is living his life. But the pure mention of his name, you lose your shit. So you got to figure out a way to be like, okay, you know what? Fuck him. He, he's a piece of shit. And I'm not going to let that continue to live within my heart and in my head, that he said something so fucked up to me when I was a kid that I was too fat because I had big boobs and a big ass. You got to find a way to be like, it didn't, you got to find a way to stop letting it fester, because you're holding on to that anger, that pain, and you're holding on to that. He's not. Like I said, that man is continuing to live his life. So Keke was like, well, I don't want his name mentioned on my show. And Andre was like, but we got to mention his name because we could be blocking Kissy's blessing. I got what Andre was saying in that moment. I got what he was saying to Keke. He was basically trying to say to Keke that your issues with him is not her issues, right? Let her work with him, because that may be the blessing that God is sending to her, and we don't want to stop that blessing. I got where Andre was coming from. And the thing with Keke is she was just doing so much. She's like, this is my show. Yes, it is your show. The name of the show is Keke Wyatts World, right? So it is definitely your show, but I just felt like Keke was doing the absolute most for no reason. You could have told production when we went to editing, y'all gotta bleep and blur that man's name. I don't want his name mentioned on the show whatsoever, right? You could have said something like that, but she made a whole scene, right? She even broke the fourth wall, because at one point, Andre said, well, it's not just your show, it's our show. I was like, well, technically, you guys all have your own interviews, so yeah. And we found out Andre is an executive producer. It's like, yeah, y'all, this is not an ensemble cast. This is not, Keke Wyatt and family. This is not Keke Wyatt and friends. It's Keke Wyatt's world. So it's literally her show. But I do feel like Keke was just doing the absolute most. Andre said nothing bad to her. She just flipped out. And I was like, Keke, you are doing the most. So then after that, we see as, Keke, Zachariah, and Kissy, they met up, right? And so she just wanted to ask, Kissy, was she doing a lot in that moment with Andre? And I feel like with Keke, Kissy was kind of teetering on eggshells, because she was like, well, Andre shouldn't have kept going. And it's like, he shouldn't have kept going. All he said at one point was that, yes, we got to say the man's name, which technically you don't have to say the man's name. And let's keep it real. The person who brought up the man's name was Kissy. So the same way that you have all this energy for Andre, you need to have the same energy for Kissy, because it's not just him. He was just telling you, let's not block her blessing. And you took it and ran with it, right? I don't want to mention that motherfucker's name on my show. I don't want to mention that motherfucker's name on my show. Again, I get it. It's your show. And she even got mad at the production and said, I'm talking to y'all. Like, do y'all not fucking hear me? I was like, Keke, you're doing the most, babe. Like, the absolute most. So then we see, what I will say is Keke is a very selfish person. Hate to say it, but I'm seeing a selfish side of her. So, and I think when she's arguing and going back and forth with people, I think Keke only hears Keke. I think she only hears herself and nobody else in the room, or more specifically, Andre, right? So then we later see them in the episode, and Keke and Andre are having a meeting with the label. You guys know that she's doing this album. So Keke was professional in the meeting. She talks about how she is this legend, but she would like to have a Grammy and the awards, right? But there are a lot of artists out there who are legends in the game, and they never got the awards and the accolades, right? So it doesn't diminish or anything like that, right? They also do talk about the fact that they wanted a song out by the time the show started, right? Now, I don't necessarily know if that happened because I need to go look and see if Keke has put out a new song. Also, after the guy left, Keke and Andre, they talked. Keke got offended when Andre said, first of all, and I was like, what? So you're upset about him saying, first of all, he changed. She said, you changed that. He changed it. So then she said she feels like he owes her an apology. And I was like, I don't necessarily think he owes you an apology. I guess you know what? Andre could apologize for the comment of telling her that she needs to get over what happened, right? He shouldn't have said that. He should have said you need to. He could have said you got to figure out how to get through that. Don't let that pain and anger and hatred affect your life when it comes to that man. Don't let him have the power over you. And I think he could have better. I think if he had said something like that, it would have been better, right? So then Andre says to Keke that he doesn't argue with his friends. And she was like, oh, so I guess we're not friends because you and I had an argument. I was like, now Keke, you putting 20 on 10, my love. What Andre is saying is it's the same thing that I say to my friends. Like, especially when me and my friends, I've gotten into arguments with some friends before, right? And I was, you know what, this is something that I don't do. I do not argue with my friends. This is not something that I do. I don't argue with the people that I love because it's pointless, right? What are we? And then I said, what the fuck are we even arguing about, right? That's what he was trying to say. That's what Andre meant. He doesn't want to argue with you, Keke. That's not. You are his friend. You're his family. He does not want to argue with you. It's not him saying, oh, we're not friends because you and I had the argument. He's literally trying to say to you, because of our friendship and our relationship as brother and sister, I don't want to have to keep arguing with you, right? And so Keke then got upset at him because he told her she just wants control. I'm sorry, Keke, but if the shoe fits, baby girl, you gotta wear that shoe because you absolutely 100% wanted to control this situation about the man's name being mentioned on the show. You don't even want Johnny on the show. That is control, Keke. You are trying to control that. But unfortunately, if Kissy is a cast member on your show, then if we're going to showcase Kissy's storyline, and if Kissy is working with them, then I mean, it is what it is, right? I get that you don't want to give them the shine, you don't want to give them the light and the light of day. I understand that you have an issue with Johnny. I understand that you have an issue with Divine. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But those issues that you have with these two men, you have got to find a way to channel that into something else that is healthy and productive. You can dislike them. You can be like, you know what? I don't fuck with them. I don't like these niggas. I don't want to be around them. That is fine to say. But the more that you do, like the stuff that you're doing, you are giving them the power over you. Like, I just want Keke to realize that you are giving them the power over you, and you're lashing out at your friends who only want to love on you and support you and help you. And it's not, I mean, I'm sorry. Me personally, I couldn't be friends with Keke. I couldn't be friends with Keke. Keke requires a whole lot. And like I said earlier in the review, when it comes to Keke, I definitely do think she needs to go see a therapist. I 100% believe that. Because on top of, like I said, the baby, the kids, her depression, her postpartum depression, there's a whole lot of things that Keke has not dealt with. And there might be some things in her childhood that she needs to uncover as well. So yeah, I think Keke, I couldn't be friends with her. Love Keke Wyatt down, but I couldn't be friends with somebody like Keke Wyatt. No shade, no tea. Just wouldn't be my friend. I would love Keke from a hell of a distance, like far, far away from me with this Apollo. Like, but again, Andre is better than me. And what I will say is that is real love. And Keke should honor and appreciate that. Because you literally told Andre, fuck you. And he told you that he set that boundary for you not to say that to him. and then you disrespect him and say fuck you to him, and he still chased in behind you and was trying to make things right with you, but you want to be a child and not talk to him. You need to know that that man loves you to no avail, because anybody else would have been like, I've told Keke once before that is a boundary, that is a line that I don't want her to cross, but then she continues to cross it. That's literally a literal fuck you to me, right? So I hope Keke knows what a good friend she has in Andre. I really hope she does. And I really hope that Keke is watching this back and that she's embarrassed by this, because this is very embarrassing. This is extremely embarrassing to me. Like, I just couldn't. But yeah, you guys, if you guys watch Keke Wyatts World, let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section below, you guys. Please subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.